championship game features the Chargers of St. Joe out of Westchester against the U-High Pioneers out of Normal. We welcome you to the East Side Center here at East Peoria. I'm Nathan Bleva alongside Matt Mishak, and tonight, Matt, one of these two teams is going to take home their first ever state title in boys soccer.
It's going to be an exciting matchup. Both teams played extremely well in the semifinals, so really looking forward to this one out here tonight.
Both teams got shutouts. We take a look at that bracket from the semifinals. St. Joe's got 4 goals and got by Cornerstone Christian Academy out of Bloomington in the first semi, 4-0. U-High got a second half goal, and they held off a late charging attack from the Jabot Catholic Hawks to win 1-0 in that second semifinal. We take a look at our key players for this state championship game, and Matt, they're both named Lopez. For U-High, their goalie Christian Lopez has to have a big game.
He has to be a wall again. He was big in the win over Jabot, and just a wonderful job that he did. He's got to be that way, otherwise the Chargers are going to have a good time against him.
It's a high-scoring Chargers attack, has been throughout the playoffs, and Emmanuel Lopez leads the way.
And Emmanuel Lopez, the heartbeat of the team, 23 goals on the season, two goals scored in the last 3 games, and an assist as well, doing an excellent job. And as he goes, so they go for St. Joe's.
Should be a fantastic game tonight. It's beautiful weather here in East Peoria at the end of October. The Chargers Pioneers kickoff coming up next on Comcast Chicago.
Country Financial wants to know, what do you look for in a financial services partner?
Get to know us and get to know what we need and what we want to do.
Treat me like they would treat their family.
Help us decide what is a want and what is a need.
I want something tailor-made for me.
At Country Financial, our goal is to take the time to get to know you and then help you put together a customized package of insurance and financial solutions to help you own your future.
When someone really listens and they're planning for us, I trust them.
Visit ownyourfuture.com to find a local Country Financial representative today.
Today's championship matchup is brought to you by Country Financial. At Country Financial, we understand that helping you means knowing you. Take charge of owning your future with Country Financial. Call your local rep at 1-866-COUNTRY or visit ownyourfuture.com. Welcome back to the IHSA Boys 1A State Soccer Championship match here on Comcast Chicago as the Pioneers of Normal U-High 16-6-5 take on the Chargers of Westchester St. Joseph 13-8. St. Joseph will be in white with the red shorts. U-High in the all blacks with the yellow numbers. There's St. Joseph. And Matt, we talked about about Emmanuel Lopez, but Carlos Gomez, the sophomore goalie, has been fantastic all season long as well.
Absolutely, averaging only 1.63 goals given up a game, and with the offense that the Chargers have, you can't give up a goal here and there, but he just needs to be steady, play his game, not doing anything fancy, just get the job done.
They'll have Villalobos, Gomez, Vargas, and Rodriguez in front of him. Barracu, Lopez, and Magallanes are the midfielders with Robledo, Wooten, and Emmanuel Lopez, we talked about at the beginning, up top. Robledo had a goal yesterday, so did Magallanes, and Lopez had the double. The other way for the Pioneers of U-High, we talked about Christian Lopez, their goalie. They've got a very good offensive attack too. Nathan Clay missed the last 26 minutes of the semi with an ankle injury, but it's key. The sophomore is back out there today.
Yeah, he's out there, and we'll see how that goes throughout the game. But Clay and Kelly and Caden Red, those are the hard workers for the Pioneers. Everything goes through them, so it's going to be interesting to see how number 8's going to hold up there for U-High. This should be an excellent game.
Those three have combined for 56 goals. Poland, Meyer, Moselle, and Lenz, the back line for the Pioneers. Red, Jenkins, Brown, and Whitman in the midfield. Clay and Kelly up top. And it's St. Joe's after U-High got the opening kick first. Lopez pushes it down towards the goal, and immediately Lopez, the junior, has to come off his line. Part of 6 shutouts this year. His brother, Robbie, was a starter for the Pioneers last year.
Boy, you talk about the athletic ability of Emmanuel Lopez right away on that first run up. He did a nice little 360 there, so he's ready to go right away for the Chargers.
St. Joe's, coached by Stanley Nemec, who is also the chair of the science department at St. Joe's High School. 147 career wins for Coach Nemec, 47 losses, 16 ties in 9 years. Third in 2008, second in 2014 when they did not lose until the title game. Lost to Wheaton Academy there. played at St. Joe's College. Last year they lost in the sectional semifinal. 10th time St. Joe's has come to state. They've never taken home that first place trophy. Pair of seconds, 3 thirds, pair of fourths, and 3 where they did not place. On the other side is Jeremy Stanton. He is a U-High alum, then played basketball at Evansville. He was on the soccer team that went to state in '96 and didn't place. They got third in '98, winning 20 games. He's 146 and 64 with 26 ties in 10 years. Last year, they didn't lose until the sectional final. They were nationally ranked. They lost to Peoria Christian, went 24-1-1. And Matt, this is unfinished business for the Pioneers who were on that squad last year.
Oh, absolutely. You know, coming into it, you know, everyone's talking about that team last year, 24-1-1. What happened? They lost to Peoria Christian early, didn't get to where they needed to go. So, you know, Coach Stanton and company, you know, with the inexperience, or I should say the lack of experience, they're making up for it with their play on the field. So, I mean, for Stanton and the Pioneers, it's more than you have to be not just happy to be here, you have to show it on the field now. Only
5 seniors. I thought it was really interesting and very cool as well that a lot of the kids that graduated last year from U-High came back over this, or stayed around over the summer and practiced with this team and helped to get them ready for this, knowing they only had 5 seniors, but the guys who graduated last year wanted this team to be hungry and accomplish what they couldn't. And here, Lopez comes out, and it's knocked to the sideline into safety for the moment with the throw-in. But speaks a lot of the tradition, the program Coach Stanton's put together. The kids who graduated stuck around over the summer before they went to college and helped get this team ready.
Oh, absolutely. And, I mean, that shows you the special bond that it has. And that was a scary play there as Lopez came out of the box. And I think it was Lopez on Lopez there. And Lopez just, Emmanuel just chipped it a little bit wide. Otherwise, that could have been really dangerous for the Pioneers.
We're going to see a lot of that Lopez versus Lopez tonight. This one's in the box, and Christian Lopez, the keeper, will pick it up. U-High avenged that loss to Peoria Christian last week as they knocked off Peoria Christian in this year's sectional, and it was Peoria Christian this year who was ranked #1 and had the pedigree to make it this far. Last year they beat U-High. This year U-High beat them, so they're 1-1 going head-to-head in those sectional games.
Absolutely, and it sounds like that's going to be a matchup for years to come, especially with the depth that the Pioneers have and the youth that they have as well.
The other way for St. Joe's now is they're on offense out of the Chicago Catholic League, and 8 losses this year, which you say, wow, a team's got 8 losses, they're playing for a state title. Yeah, they're not a 1A team. They played throughout the regular season against a ton of 2A and 3A teams, both in conference, out of conference. They were in the 2A playoffs last year and lost to Solorio, dropped down to 1A this year as some teams jumped up over them that had the success factor, and so they dropped down to 1A. So they have 8 losses, but they're all to much bigger schools.
Oh, absolutely. Then you can't get any better experience in playing teams against like a Loyola in 3A and you know, some of these bigger schools in the Chicago area. I mean, it just does a whole lot for your program, and it gives you that consistency.
Shot is deflected, and it's been all St. Joe's early putting the pressure on. It gave Coach Nemec and his staff of David Purton, Kyle Bokaloo, and Matt Sinacor a challenge as well, because when they got the regional time, they had 4 teams staring at them that they had not seen before. So they had to go as the whistle is blown here.
And the dangerous play.
Yep. They had to go take a look at teams like IC Catholic, Phoenix Military, Chicago Hope, because those were teams they played. Now, they had beat Montini in the regular season. They played them for a sectional final, and Chicago Parker as well, but they had to do a lot of research just to get ready for a sectional because they dropped down to 1A.
Oh, absolutely. And
this one in on goal and caught there by Christian Lopez.
Absolutely. You talk about that, but you know, Montini was always been a big matchup for St. Joe's, and to see that 7-1 score line in that sectional final was really eye-popping. It tells you that this Charger team is really focused and ready to go.
They've outscored teams in the postseason 34-1. That one, they won 7-1. So you can give up a goal when you score 7.
Well, you talk about unfinished business for U-High. You know, talk about what St. Joe's. You know, a lot of these players played on the team that went downstate 2 years ago and played against Wheaton Academy in 2A. So they have that in their mind. They know what they need to do to finish the job, and they're going to look to take control early.
A lot of sibling connections to that team as well for the Chargers, and a foul against St. Joe's. Matthew Meyer sends it forward, a junior, all the way into the box, and that's going to roll through. Carlos Gomez will let it go for the goal kick. He was trying to find Nathan Clay, but could not.
Yeah, just out of the reach of Clay. But talk about Meyer and Moselle in the back there for the Pioneers. I mean, they're going to be tested. They're the experience back there, and they're going to need it all against this front line of Robledo and Lopez for St. Joe's. As we've already seen Lopez a little bit early on doing a lot of skill.
Talked about the Chargers schedule. The Pioneers play a very challenging schedule in the regular season as well. They're in the Corn Belt Conference. About 35 miles from East Peoria to normal U-High's campus, while St. Joe's is 118 miles away. Losses this year for U-High, including Peoria Notre Dame, who's in 3A, played the championship game last year, and one of the best soccer programs in the state. That was a 3-2 setback. Long throw here, and the flag is up as we've got offsides.
Yeah, both teams early on doing the long throw-ins, but the Pioneers just a little bit offside there on that play.
And actually, there was 2 infractions. One was offsides. The other, the linesman had an illegal throw-in, so it's going to be a throw-in on that far side. They also lost to Springfield High, who's in a 2A super sectional and one of the top-ranked teams in 2A. They lost to Muhammad Seymour in conference. They lost to Rochester. And then a much bigger school, United Township, out of the Quad Cities area, plus Maple Park Canelan. So those are the losses for U-High this year in a very challenging schedule. This one's sent in to Lopez.
I was going to say, Nate, that Notre Dame game, it stands out to me because that's a team that's still going on the 3A side.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you talk about a 1A going up against a now 3A school and playing them tough like that, a 3-2 loss. I mean, that's one that you put in the memory bank and say, hey, let's see what worked in that one and see what we can translate over here.
Here's a chip towards the box, headed away. Notre Dame in their first year in 3A after the success factor because they kept going to state in 2A. Now they're 1 win away from going to state in 3A. Whitman has his pass intercepted and sent back forward by the Chargers in white. Robledo, he had a goal in the semifinal win over Cornerstone Christian, and it's sent forward.
I was going to say excellent job there. You're going to see Danny Magalanes doing a lot for the St. Joe's there. You let that break early. Here come the Pioneers.
Kelly for Clay, but couldn't get it through, and it's headed back the other direction, and Clay chips it, gets it off the chip. On the ground, pushes it wide right. Again, keep an eye on Nathan Clay. Missed the final 26 minutes of the semifinal with a left ankle injury. Seems to be moving well on it so far here in the championship game, as this one's a little far out of his reach, and the shot's going to go well over both the goal and the football goalpost as well. We're here at East Side Center, East Peoria, Illinois, home of the East Peoria Raiders. And this facility, run by the East Peoria High School for the weekend, has done a fantastic job with this tournament. First year here at East Peoria after 5 years over in Normal.
That was J.D. Kelly that had that shot there, and he was very ambitious, but he had space. So that's what you need to do to try and get involved against St. Joe's. Shoot when you have space and just skied that one over.
U-High student section clad mostly in green, and they are ready to cheer on their side. And a lot of jerseys on the St. Joe's side. A lot of the parents wearing Chargers jerseys with their kids' numbers on them. And you can hear the U-High student section chanting and singing in the background. They did that for the entire 80 minutes of the semifinal here last night in a 1-0 win over Jabot Catholic from Waterloo.
If anything that we saw 2 years ago from the Chargers, they bring their support, and also the Pioneers, their student section is just wonderful. It's just so awesome to see the support out here from both teams, and they're really getting into it, appreciating what the teams have done to this point.
Both of these schools have had so much success in IHSA athletics, bringing home state trophies in a myriad of sports, but never a first place trophy in boys soccer. One of them will change that here this evening. It's scoreless through the first 10 minutes. And this one's going to trickle out of bounds. When you think of St. Joe's, you think of Coach Pingator and that great basketball program.
Right.
They got another title just a couple years ago. U-High has done it in many sports. Most of their trophies in golf, but they've got state trophies, first place trophies, in a handful of sports up and down, and now a chance to get their first one in soccer. And same with St. Joe's, who is there in quite a few sports as well.
And just early on, the Chargers are getting some good looks, but not able to connect.
Long distance shot, stays on the ground, and That's a key on this turf, too. You put the ball in on the ground, you never know what kind of bounce you're going to get. You get some of those turf hops, and they can be tricky for the goalkeeper.
And a lot of this for the turf atmosphere, definitely favors a St. Joe type of attack. They keep it on the ground. They're working the sidelines really well. So see what the Pioneers can do to counteract that. I think for the Pioneers, what they need to do is just get possession, work it through Clay and Kelly, try and get them the ball as much as possible, maybe spring one of your wingers.
Ball goes to the sideline. U-High will throw it back in. They push a few players into the box. And on the bounce, the throw will get there. Pop back the other way by the St. Joe's defense. Both teams getting a shutout in the semifinals. For U-High, they had a shutout in the super sectional against Elgin St. Edwards 1-0. St. Joe mentioned they've only allowed 1 goal in the postseason. That came in the sectional final, a 7-1 win over Montini. U-High's allowed 2 goals, both in the sectionals. They beat Princeton 3-1, and then as Matt mentioned earlier, got revenge on the Chargers of Peoria Christian 2-1 in that sectional final. And the whistle here. Should mention those officials. Al Corey is the middle official. Mike McDermott, Rodney Schaefer are the linesmen, and Mark Fulta, the 4th official over at the bench. They've let them play so far. Oh,
you notice, right away the Chargers are collapsing on the Pioneers. Now they might have something here. Good defensive help there from the Pioneers, as that was a nice play by Jason Lenz coming in, knocking that ball into touch. They have a substitution. The first subs coming in for the Chargers. Double substitution.
Villalobos over to take the throw.
Well, guess who's in? Oscar Rodriguez. Now, why do I mention his name? This is a kid that's a track star, and he qualified for the Chicago Marathon last year, and this year, and he finished it.
Yep.
So this guy, you want some speed, you got it out there if you're the Chargers.
Under 5-minute miler, ran the marathon this year. Not just that. He ran the marathon, didn't miss the soccer season at all, kept training for the marathon while also playing on a very good soccer team. Oh, and he takes a bunch of AP classes and has a part-time job.
That doesn't sound like a busy schedule to me at all, does it?
Does Oscar Rodriguez sleep? That's
right.
My
That's a wonderful question. Good moves here by Clay. Good defense.
He's like a living, breathing 5-hour energy ball.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh.
Unreal.
I couldn't even do half of that stuff. Now I couldn't even think about half of that stuff. Let's do it.
And that was October 9th. He ran and finished the Chicago Marathon, and the Chargers had a game 2 days later to start regionals.
And I'm sure Oscar Rodriguez, probably one of the first there to arrive and say, hey, let's go, fellas.
Looking to get it forward to Clay. Headed away.
You just see 2 or 3 Chargers around Clay. You don't think that they realize what a game changer he could be. They're really containing him there. And the Pioneers have that kind of similar shape on defense when they see number 10, Lopez, around there as well. So very similar setups.
Sent it for the corner. Kelly with Clay filling the middle, gets it in and deflected out of bounds for a corner. Now, keep an eye here. Mason Whitman will trigger the free kicks, number 17. He's going to run out to take the corner kick. They scored on a restart yesterday. They surprised the Jabot Catholic Hawks on a very quick restart off a handball. The Hawks were arguing that it should have been a handball, and Whitman just put the ball down, kicked it forward, and Caden Red put it in the net, one-on-one with the goalie as they scored off the set piece, and they nearly get one here as Whitman with great service.
That was a really good ball in, and just unable to, they got the head on it, just could not direct it on frame. But that's a good sign for the Pioneers, not giving in early on, as looked like there. It was Whitman hooking up, trying to hit Red again, the combination that worked yesterday.
Such a great play yesterday, and one of the smartest plays I've seen around soccer. Whitman, whose brother Matt is an alum of U-High and played as well, and he just put the ball down and set it up perfectly for Red. It was a great goal for Red, and ended up being the only goal of the match, as it came early in the second half, and just a fantastic and such a smart play by Mason Whitman last night.
And I think this is a nice change of pace here, as Jabot had 13 corners against U-High, and now it's a little different.
Missed the header. Shot is deflected. Wow, Matt, they had a wide open header there that had just the goalie to beat, but it was just over his head on that long throw.
I was just going to say, you know, Jabot in the semis against U-High, they had 13 corner kicks. So now for the Pioneers, they get the first one right here. You know, it's got to be a little bit different, a little bit better for Jeremy Stanton and crew to just, you know, say we're applying the pressure now. We're not fending off the pressure.
Jabot had so many chances in that semifinal game. Had the better of the chances against U-High, but U-High scored. It was Clay who set up their scoring situation before the handball and the restart as he had his shot saved back in. Calling those games for IHSA TV and getting this chance to see these teams live and in person, was very impressed with the defense of the Pioneers in the semifinal. And St. Joe's as well. They shut down a Cornerstone Christian Academy team out of Bloomington who has just speed on top of speed. But St. Joe's had the size. They out-physicaled the Cyclones of Cornerstone Christian, who have 6 players who hail from Zambia, living with missionaries in the adopted and living with missionaries in the Bloomington area. So much speed on that team, but the Chargers use their size and their physicality to take away that speed in the semis and win 4-0.
I tell you what, anytime you can shackle an opponent that has 2 goal scorers that total 87 goals coming into the game, I mean, that's just top-notch defending. I mean, no matter what level you're at, 87 goals from 2 players is just something that, you know, catches your attention and says, we can't let these guys do anything.
They got help from a crossbar yesterday, but 4-0 they won, and they took out Cornerstone Christian. It was fun to watch, but St. Joe's the better team on the field in the semi. We'll see how this one unfolds.
Noticed on that play there, the Pioneers, they kind of sagged 4 or 5 defenders back, you know, letting St. Joe's have the area between the 40 and 20 yard lines of the football field here, or the stadium here at East Peoria. So giving them space to work with, maybe saying, hey, you want to try those long shots again? Go ahead and try. We'll let you have those.
The thing to keep in mind, too, is you see the field, and we talk about distances to the goal. The soccer field, bigger than a football field. So when we say that it's shots from 30 yards out, but the ball's not on the 30-yard line, that's why. You see the 18 comes across at the 10, so you got to account for that difference. Here on the home of the East Peoria Raiders from the Middle-Illini Conference, first-year home for the 1A state tournament. We'll have the 2A and the 3A. We'll be in Hoffman Estates, and we'll have 3 new champions this year as Waterloo fell in the sectional finals in 2A. Libertyville did the same in 3A, and the cross in, and either of these 2 teams will be new because of last year's 1A finalist, Timothy Christian out of Elmhurst. They were bumped up to 2A, and the Urbana University, who also was in the Final Four last year, bumped up. As we take a look at Mason Whitman going to deliver this second corner. We're going to see where number 8 is, Mr. Clay. He's going to come toward the box. Gives service, that knocked down and headed forward. I think that was Meyer who got a head on it, but he's going to get called for lifting the leg to knock down his opponent. He hit the ground, so did 16 Camden Brown, and a foul against the Pioneers.
Love the service from Whitman. That's 2 straight corners where he's been able to connect with the target, but Meyer just, you know, unable to get a contact on it. But as you mentioned, had some contact with the Chargers, got called for the foul, sending it for a goal kick for the Chargers.
Out wide, now back across midfield. Goes out wide towards the sideline, and that's going to trickle out of bounds with just over 20 minutes to go in the first half. You're watching the IHSA Boys Soccer State Finals on Comcast Chicago.
The IHSA is achievement, focus, creativity, spirit, champions. The future plays here, the Illinois High School Association.
Welcome back to East Peoria, Illinois, the East Side Center, the side of the 1A Boys Soccer State Finals. Westchester St. Joe in white, Normal U-High in black. I'm Nathan Belivo along with Matt Mishek. And so far, Matt, halfway through the first half, what's your takeaway?
My takeaway is that both teams playing extremely well, matching up well against each other. St. Joe's having a lot of runs on the sideline, just not connecting. So I'm waiting for those to connect. Once those connect, you better look out as this ball's into the box and saved. But for U-High, they're getting possession. They've gotten the first 2 corners of the match, so definitely building confidence. They're more of a team that just runs it through their forwards and just likes to work it that way. So if they can keep doing that, they'll neutralize any sort of Charger speed attack that'll come their way.
U-High's had a couple of good chances on corners, but Carlos Gomez hasn't had to do nearly the work yet that his goalie counterpart Christian Lopez has had to do in the other end. Throw in here for U-High.
Get a good look at Caden Red, of course, the match hero in the semifinal. Like you said, just an excellent play there, working with Mason Whitman off of that restart off the foul call.
Looking to get it in for Emmanuel Lopez, and they couldn't. Now it's back. Magianis, the MVP of the Chicago Catholic League, in midfield, loses out of bounds. He thought he was going to get a throw in, but he touched it last, and it'll be a U-High throw in instead.
As we'll see Caden Red throw it in again. But, Wheaton Academy in 2014, they really handled St. Joe's, and there was a moment in that game where, they got behind, and, Stan Nemec had a little bit of a moment where it was, got carded in the game, so they kind of lost their composure. So I know that's fresh in their minds as we see Lopez going to the ground, grabbing the cross from the Chargers, but that's fresh in their minds, saying that's what we're going to avoid this time around.
That ball was out of bounds, and it's going to be a goal kick. It trickled over the end line. The linesman had his flag in the air, but again, Christian Lopez, the keeper for the U-High Pioneers, has had to do a lot more work in front of his goal than Carlos Gomez has for the Chargers. That was the case last night, too, against Jabot, and then it was a quick hit on a counterattack that led to 3 shots in a 30-second span for U-High, and the only goal of the match. You have such a strong defense, sometimes that's all it takes, one opportunity. St. Joe's looking to sneak it into Lopez, but that is not going to happen. Sent out towards Clay. Driving in now with it for the Chargers. Rodriguez knocks it down. Chasing it down again. Sebastian Gomez sends it forward to Emmanuel Lopez, and Christian Lopez is going to come out to corral it.
Well, he did a nice job. Lopez was trying to flick it up to himself, just flicked it a little too far. And Christian Lopez able to corral it.
Midfield, Nathan Clay. Let it go, runs onto it, he goes down, kind of tackled there, and those are the 2 leading goal scorers. Right. Nathan Clay, number 8 in black for U-High, and Emmanuel Lopez, number 10 in white for St. Joe's.
Yeah, introducing themselves, Lopez trying to battle Clay for it, and took a page out of the football program there.
That's right. Meyer sends this one all the way across, switching sides on the attack. U-High putting a few passes together here. Chipping it into the box, and the flag was up.
Good idea, but the flag was up. Right, I was just going to say, that was a wonderful idea. Wonderful idea with the chip over the top as they saw the Chargers come out, but just unable to hold the line. The Chargers did a good job with the trap.
Just outside the 18 is where the free kick will come. Yeah, they tried to open it up out on the flanks the first few attacks, and that one went for the chip over the top. Chris Perez moves it forward. Cleared all the way back down. Nathan Clay will use his speed to see if he can run onto this. He will get there first. He's got J.D. Kelly. Clay hits the deck. He gets back up. Pass from Kelly, not strong enough and intercepted.
Yeah, Clay's favoring that a little bit on the ankle. We're going to see how it progresses later on. We thought that would be a concern, but he's trying to shake it off as St. Joe's going to quickly trigger it back in.
Robledo on the quick throw to Emmanuel Lopez as he works there on Jet Jenkins. Knifing through now, Robledo with the shot that just keeps on rising and over everything.
Well, you just knew that Robledo had some space there. He did a nice job going to his favorite side, the left, good toward the middle, and just skied it over. Lucas Perry, number 3, a junior defender midfielder, is in now for the Pioneers.
He played on the left wing when he subbed in yesterday. But Whitman stays in that position here. Robledo had a goal yesterday in the 4-0 semifinal win. Then he got a yellow card late. And nice defense by U-High. And they'll get it out of the box.
Tell you what, they're bending and not breaking back there for the Pioneers. I mean, there's been a lot of times where they've had to really stretch to get it away, but so far they're holding up.
Knocked away and sent back in. Headed out. Christopher Perez for St. Joe's. Had a couple yellow cards yesterday. Wooten and Robledo had them. U-High got 2 as well. J.D. Kelly and Caden Red. Red scored the goal, and about 20 minutes later, got a yellow card as he got tangled up with one of the Jabot Hawks. We got a whistle here from the linesman, and that's going to go against St. Joe's.
I think it just shines, this shows here that playing the teams that are a class up or 2 classes up, I mean, it just really shines through because you take away things from those games that you can't get anywhere else, and you know, you're playing different styles and you know, different teams that have control. Here's Whitman open on the left.
Play for Whitman. Whitman from distance, and that's off to the right. Teed it up nicely and let it fly from about 25 yards out, but didn't hit it perfectly, and it went well wide right.
I was just going to say, it's just the experience of playing against the higher classes. You know, you always take something away from it. And, you know, nice job there as U-High did a little bit of what St. Joe's does, get out there quickly. Whitman was out there, head on a tee, just shot it well wide to the right.
Both these teams challenged themselves during the regular season. In conference, but also out of conference. We mentioned the schedules earlier of both teams playing some of the premier programs in the state, not caring whether they're 1A, 2A, or 3A. Cross could not get through, but it falls in. Shot is in! There's the opener we were looking for. The goal for J.D. Kelly, his 15th of the year. It fell back perfectly to him, teed him up, and he knocked it in.
Unlucky break for the Chargers, as it actually appeared that Lopez was coming back, Emmanuel Lopez on defense. Ball hit off of him, came back over to Kelly. Kelly was in the right spot, and he was able to knock it past Carlos Gomez. And the Pioneers, against the run of play here, 28 minutes in, have a 1-0 lead, and the student section of the Pioneers and the fans loving it.
12:35 to go in the opening half. J.D. Kelly, goal number 15. He's been the helper throughout the year. He leads the team with 19 assists. He had the assist on Nathan Clay's goal in the super sectional that got them here to East Peoria. He was a workhorse in the semi, and now he's got a goal to show for it in the state championship game. He knew exactly what to do with that when it fell to his right foot. They'll put pressure on here, and you mentioned against the run of play, it'll be interesting to see what the strategy is now. How does St. Joe's open up this defense to find the equalizer? And does U-High sit back even more? Do they push forward looking for a second? We'll have to see how the coaches want to change up strategies. They'll be able to talk about it in 12 minutes, but got to change up on the fly here.
I think at this point in time, if I'm Jeremy Stanton, let's sit back. Let's see if we can take this lead into the half, because of the fact that if you make one mistake against this Charger team, they can counterattack and get through down those sidelines and put one in real quick.
A foul against the Pioneers. Nathan Clay was credited with the assist on the goal. That's his 6th. Usually it's the other way around. Clay's got 28 goals and Kelly has 19 assists. Here in the state title game, they flip. Kelly getting the help from Clay. Both sophomores too, which talks about how bright the future is for this Pioneers program. They only have 5 seniors. And as far as starters go, 3 of them, and they're all on the back line. They'll have to replace Lenz, Moselle, and Poland on that back line for next year, but only 3 of their starting 11 will graduate. This one's sent forward. It's Kelly again. If he can keep it in bounds, he can. He's got Clay in the box, and it deflects out of bounds and will go for a corner.
That was good work there by both Kelly and Jet Jenkins. They did the nice 1-2 combination back forth. Jenkins with a great ball in, and then J.D. Kelly is going to be over this one.
Yeah, Kelly takes the corners from this side of the field, sends it in with the right foot. Punched out by Gomez.
Look out for Jenkins.
Shot is over.
Jenkins was feeling good about the build-up before. He wanted to let it rip and just couldn't keep it down.
Plenty of space and opportunity there for Jenkins, and the goal kick in the last 10 minutes of the first half.
Tell you what, the Pioneers do not look like an inexperienced team out there right now. 30 minutes in, and they're holding more than their own against this Charger team that has played a lot of the bigger teams in the Chicago area.
Shot is deflected. This will go for another on the corner kick, and it'll be Kelly again.
It's never a bad play when you're on offense to have the ball in your end. Even if you're not scoring, you keep it on your end.
Kelly sends it in, top of the box, poke back through, cleared, Clay, that one hit the underside of the crossbar and stayed out.
Wow.
Jenkins punches it back in, Clay gets to this one and doesn't miss the second time. There's the goal, he hit the underside of the crossbar seconds earlier, and they got back on side on that punch in and puts it in 2-0 to the Pioneers.
If he's feeling any effects from that left ankle, he's not showing it at all. What a gritty effort from Nate Clay. He's raising over to the fan section. A wonderful effort, stayed with it. And you know, you talk about it here, he goes in on that run, hits the underside of the crossbar, it stays out, but he doesn't quit on it. He comes back, and the ball eventually finds him again, and he slots it, keeps it lower this time into the far corner.
Clay and Kelly each have scored today. They're now combined for 44 goals on the season. When you team them up with Caden Red and what they have been able to do throughout the season, that trio with a 60 goals, 35 assists between the three of them, it's been impressive. And they've given the Pioneers a 2-0 lead with 9 minutes to go now in the first half, and the Chargers have to push forward.
They sure do.
Poked away. Red subs back in for the Pioneers after the goal, and they can take a few more chances now as well. You mentioned a few minutes ago that they couldn't make one mistake, but now they can afford that mistake, so they can take a few more chances.
And I'm expecting all these long clearances down the left and right sides to finish it up, but what a dream start for the Pioneers. I think if you had told Jeremy Stanton, hey, you'd be up 2-0 in the first half against this Charger team, he definitely would take that in a minute. Now it's a reality.
Back into the middle. Left wing, that is gonna stay inbounds. Nope, now it'll roll out. So it stayed in at first, but neither player could get a touch.
Also relaxes you a little bit if you're the Pioneers as well. You have a 2-goal cushion, like you said. You know, if you make a mistake, hey, it's not the end of the world. But you know, Coach Stanton says, hey, let's not have any mistakes. They're going to get it out to the left this time, except it was deflected and now sent back in.
Matthew Meyer, the defender, center back, was credited with the assist on that second goal. His second assist of the year. What a great time to have your second helper. So he punched it back in for Clay. Now it's St. Joe's. And Matt, when the Pioneers scored their first goal, you mentioned correctly it was against the run of play, but since that goal, it's now been 6 minutes, and it's been all Pioneers over the last 6 minutes of play.
You're absolutely right, Nate, and it doesn't sound like the Pioneers are going to slow down at all. They've accepted this challenge head on.
Lopez knocked away from him. Good defense by Matt Moselle.
Moselle and Meyer, the experience back there, really stepping up, not giving the Chargers any room to operate.
Red switches fields, but they can't get anything going down that right flank. Knocked back out of bounds.
all quiet at the substitution table, so looks like at least for the next few minutes we'll have these same lineups.
That one's knocked out. There have been very few subs in this first half. Throw in, headed on, and Lopez will come out and easily grab that. Punt forward. The wind, which was a big factor in the semifinals last night, and even a little bit in the early half of the third place game that was won by the Jabot Catholic Hawks from Waterloo. No wind at all here for this championship game. You could not ask for better weather on a Saturday night in October in Central Illinois.
Oh, no, absolutely not. This is just postcard type weather, as I like to say it. And, you know, no, it's always a load off their mind. You don't have to worry about any elements out there. You could just go and play your game, play soccer. That's what the Pioneers are doing right now.
We had driving rain in the girls soccer finals last June. And even if this had been 3 days ago, what was it, Thursday night, it was 40 degrees at this time of night, and everybody was all bundled up, but not the case here tonight. You see some shorts and short sleeve shirts in the stands, and very comfortable weather for these young men, and 2-0 to U-High with 5 minutes and change left in the opening half.
Just a wonderful job. You saw 3 of the Pioneers down there, and Nate Clay was also back there helping out on defense as well. Talk about an effort.
Jenkins tried to play it on the ground, couldn't get it to it. Dylan Robledo, he'll let fly right at Christian Lopez. He was up to that challenge.
Well, another option there for Robledo. Hey, it's never a bad idea to shoot on net. They did have a Charger flying in far post. Maybe wanted to see a cross there, but good job by Christian Lopez. Keeping it in front of him, knocking it down, scooping it up.
A whistle here will set up the Pioneers in a pretty dangerous spot, and now they're going to move them back.
He wanted to do it quickly. You wanted to say like yesterday, do it quickly.
He also wanted to go from about 30 yards out instead of more like now 38. They'll play it on the ground. Caden Red, one-timer, too high. A nice play. You can tell those are the plays, like the one was last night where they snuck one in on Jabot very quickly. You can tell those are plays they practice just like that one was.
No, they sure do, and you know, there wasn't much to it, but the speed of it, that throws it off, and doing it a little bit sooner than a lot of the Chargers were anticipating. Good skill there by Lopez, but it gets knocked away again. Good job, Whitman, sending it back.
This one from Moselle. Now Whitman. Red can't get there. It's headed forward. Rodriguez, left side, will try again. And now it's the Pioneers who control. Tried to switch fields, but good defense to step up there by Gomez. And now the Pioneers chasing it around a bit. Perez out wide right. Robledo, he's got Emmanuel Lopez on the right and goes that direction. Lopez working on Meyer. Got it around Meyer, but there to clean it up is his senior teammate Matt Moselle, and wins the throw-in.
Good job there. Nice job by Moselle. As Lopez, all he's doing is getting stuck to the right side. He is not getting in any position to fire one on goal, so give the Pioneers credit for that.
Whitman sent it forward. Now on the far right side, it's in for Clay, but too strong of a touch. Will carry that over the end line.
Get a good look at Carlos Gomez, ready to trigger this one and hoping to find a Charger. You're right, Nate. Early on, it was Christian Lopez having the busier of nights, and these last 10 minutes or so, it's been Carlos Gomez having it. So you're just having that, switch of momentum between the sides.
Sent forward, flags up. That'll go on out of bounds with 2 minutes to play here in the opening half. Far side, Chargers moving forward. Trying to get it around to Lopez, and he'll get a touch here. Turns to face. Sends it back the other way. Top of the key, knocked away. And they're letting him play here in the first half. Very few whistles, which is refreshing. Now headed forward. Lopez settles, but it's out of bounds off of him, and a throw in for the Pioneers. Clay lets it go for Kelly, plays it through for Clay. Can he win the race to it? He does get a touch on it, that's in! 3-0 to U-High! Kelly played that on, Clay got the slightest of touches and tucked it inside the near post. Past Carlos Gomez. And the U-High Pioneers with a dream first half and a 3-goal lead. We wonder if Nathan Clay would be able to play the way his ankle was yesterday. And play he has. He's got an assist and 2 goals. I think he wants to be the Country Financial Player of the Game as well as a state champion. Nathan Clay, the sophomore, now with 30 goals on the season. A fantastic first half for he and his Pioneers teammates. This one will trickle out of bounds for a throw in the final seconds of the half, and a fantastic half it has been for the Pioneers from Normal U-High. A 40-minute drive over, and they've got a 3-0 lead as the clock here in the first half trickles down, and the Chargers will try one last effort. Lopez.
7-6.
And into the middle. Headed away, and that will bring the first half to a close. So U-High getting goals from J.D. Kelly, and then a brace from Nathan Kelly, who had the first assist. And it's 3-0 to U-High at the break. Halftime here in East Peoria, U-High 3, St. Joe 0. You're watching the IHSA 1A State Finals on Comcast Chicago.
Country Financial wants to know, do you feel in control of your financial future?
No, sort of. But I have the desire to be in control of my money.
I need a plan.
At Country Financial, our goal is to work with you to lay out a step-by-step plan of insurance and financial solutions to help you regain control of your financial planning, to help you own your future.
Understanding is empowering.
Visit ownyourfuture.com to find a local Country Financial representative today.
Welcome back to Eastside Center, the 1A state championship game, and boys soccer's at halftime, 3-0 U-High. Let's throw it down to the field to Matt Mishek.
Coach, your team's up 3 at the end of the first half. Just describe what's working well for you out there.
Yeah, we played well that half. I think the key was possession. We were able to play it into space and use some of our speed up top, and we got the opportunities for a couple goals, and we're able to finish them.
What's your message going to be for your team in the second half? Just to keep doing what you're doing, or anything special?
Doing what we're doing. We're playing great. Stay composed. Don't get rattled, and just stay with the game plan.
Coach, thank you very much. Good luck in the second half. Here with St. Joe's head coach Stan Nemec. Stan, chasing 3 goals at the end of the first half. Just describe what needs to go better in the second half for you guys.
Well, when you give a game to them, you don't really make them work for goals. You're going to be in this position, so we just have to go do what we do. We're not playing how we played this tournament. What got us here, we're not even doing. So we need to get back to that.
So, is there a key for your team to get Emmanuel Lopez a little bit more open in space? What needs to change in the second half?
He's open. He gets the ball. He has space. He's just too slow. We need to speed up. Our thinking, if we're nervous, whatever it is, we're not playing. So we need to get back on track.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck in the second half. Nate, back to you.
We'll be back with more from Eastside Center in East Peoria on Comcast Chicago.
Country Financial wants to know, what do you look for in a financial services partner?
Get to know us and get to know what we need and what we want to do.
Treat me like they would treat their family.
Help us decide what is a want and what is a need.
I want something tailor-made for me.
At Country Financial, our goal is to take the time to get to know you and then help you put together a customized package of insurance and financial solutions to help you own your future.
When someone really listens and they're planning for us, I trust them.
Visit ownyourfuture.com to find a local Country Financial representative today.
Welcome back to the 1A Boys State Soccer Championship. Normal U High with a 3-0 lead over Westchester St. Joe's at halftime. Shots favor the Pioneers, 8-5 in that first half. The first goal belonged to Nathan Clay. He had 2. J.D. Kelly had a third. And Kelly with the opener, and then Clay got goals 2 and 3, also had an assist. It was all St. Joe's early, putting shots on goal, but the goalkeeper for the Pioneers, Christian Lopez, was up to the task, and then the offense took over for the Pioneers. Kelly and Clay, the goal scorers in the first half, and a 3-0 lead for the Pioneers as they look to claim their first state title in boys soccer history. We'll be back with more from Eastside Center in East Peoria on Comcast Chicago.
From the gridiron to the hardwood, on the links or on the track, on the diamond or on the ice. Go to prepfilms.com. It's easy. You can order your DVD online. At prepfilms.com, you make the memories. We'll make them last forever.
Welcome back to the IHSA Boys 1A State Championship game here in East Peoria Eastside Center. And Matt, 3 goals for U High in the first half. It was J.D. Kelly from Nathan Clay first, and then Nathan Clay did the work on goals 2 and 3.
Oh, excellent job. And Clay, the one that stands out, the second goal was just a tremendous effort. He got the ball inside the 6. His shot went on the underside of the crossbar, came back out, then the ball came back into him. He stayed with it, didn't give up, and slotted it down in the far corner, and just a wonderful job. A dream start here for the Pioneers, no question about it. And for St. Joe's now, it's all about pushing forward, giving your players like Emmanuel Lopez, Dylan Robledo, opportunities to find the back of the net. Lopez was relegated to the sidelines for most of the first half. What I mean by that, it was U High was forcing him to make runs along the wing. Now let's see if he can get more of a central scoring threat.
They need to put pressure on quick, and Coach Nemec and the Chargers obviously very frustrated by the way that first half went. And they opened the game as well as they probably wanted to the first 15 minutes, and then all of a sudden it was all Pioneers. Oh, you're absolutely right. Just the Pioneers have just taken over, and a play just like this one now, anytime U High can get it down on their side of the field's a win at this point. But yeah, it was just St. Joe's had it going on early, and then all of a sudden the Pioneers took over, start winning the 50-50s, getting possession, working it to Clay, working it to Kelly. Whitman's been a key. And so all their key players have been really front and center here for the Pioneers as they're continuing to keep possession after we start the second half. Down the right side, here's Nathan Clay. 2 goals and assists, sends it into the middle for Red. And now back come the Chargers into the middle of the field. Magianis. Wooten's back out there. He did not play a whole lot of that first half as they subbed him out after he started. And a great clearance there, and that chases the Chargers all the way back. So the Pioneers doing their job, and Clay working hard against 2 Chargers. And he goes down, and the Chargers are able to clear. I was just going to say, though, Nate, the team last year for the Pioneers, 24-1-1, that was the team thought to win the title. But now this year, that's right, this group's got it going on. They really soaked up everything that the team last year gave them. It's funny how that happens in sports, isn't it? You'll see teams that cruise through undefeated. You think they can't be beaten. They stumble once, and then they come back hungrier the next year when maybe some teams, some people are counting them out, and that's the year that they break through to the pinnacle, and that's what U-High is looking to do. Saw that with Kentucky basketball a couple years ago, right?
Right, absolutely.
All the way through, and then the next year, they made it.
As you see, Juan Villalobos going to take a long throw in here. Credit to Ryan Poland for a nice job ushering him out.
Long throw into the middle is cleared for the moment. And now sent down the sidelines. Clay gets a deflection.
How good has his effort been today? Unbelievable. Yeah. For missing the last 26 minutes of the semifinal. And he must have gotten a whole bunch of energy back from that, because he has been showing very little ill effects from that ankle injury.
During that semifinal yesterday, when he went out, they looked at him for a while on the trainer's table. Looked like they were going to wrap the ankle, then they didn't. He was over on the sidelines, and you could tell he was begging to get back into the game. They didn't use him. In the article afterwards in the Bloomington paper, the Bloomington Panagraph, read that quote from Coach Stanton saying, "I honestly right now have no idea if he'll play or not. We'll give him as much treatment as we can." As here's a long service on the free kick. That ball drops down at the mouth of the goal and is cleared out. But they said they give him as much rest and as much treatment as they could in 24 hours and see if he'd be able to go. Well, I'd say mission accomplished with 2 goals and an assist in the first half and running all over the pitch.
I was going to say they need to trademark that treatment, because they gave him a little something extra for sure.
They will knock it back across midfield here.
That's not what the Chargers need to do. The Chargers need to keep the ball on the ground, work it amongst each other. All they're doing is sending it back and forth with the Pioneers here, and it's just eating up this clock here. You're down 3. You need all the time you can get if you're St. Joe's.
Down the sideline it goes. Now they can score. And they too, like normal U-High did in the first half, they can score in bunches. They did that yesterday as Lopez and Robledo scored 2 goals within 2 minutes in the first half. And in the second half, it was Lopez and Magianis who scored 2 goals within 3 minutes. So long throw in coming here, knocked down, and this will roll through the box. It'll be cleared out by Wooten. Gets it as far as Jason Lenz. 50-50 ball controlled by U-High down the right side for Jenkins. Now Clay running on, but Gomez will get there first.
Jenkins, Kelly, and Clay on that link up there. Excellent job. Jenkins over the top to Clay. Just a little too far out reach, but if you're Jeremy Stanton, you're not unhappy with that. St. Joe's needs to find a way to break through. So far they haven't, and that's well defended again.
Here is Lopez, had it knocked away by Jenkins. They battle for it. Jenkins goes down, and Lopez will be called for the foul. Jet Jenkins mixing it up there with Emmanuel Lopez, winning the ball, winning the foul. The junior, number 14, with 5 goals and 8 assists this year for the Pioneers.
Junior midfielder doing a great job. Lopez getting his second football tackle of the evening. Had one earlier battling against Clay. That's not what Stan Nemec and company are looking for right now. Looking for goals.
Throw in coming here. Sends it all the way down. And Wooten battling. Taken away. Ryan Poland, the right back, has been a brick wall so far. Clay running on. Gets to it. Turns to go towards goal. Getting back quickly, though, to deny him is Sebastian Gomez. That was number 8 versus number 8.
That's an excellent effort, though, by Gomez. He knows how important it is to keep it right here at 3, able to force a Pioneer throw-in. But again, St. Joe's needs to be going the other way.
Long throw coming. Headed in the air, and a whistle to send it out for a corner.
Like we talked about earlier, U-High getting the majority of these set pieces now.
Another corner coming in. It is cleared out to the top of the box and then set wide. U-High sends it in again, deflected. The flag is up. So offsides before that went out of bounds. Free kick across midfield. A header across midfield again, and now it's back. Wooten on the left, Lopez in the middle. Now goes to Elijah Wooten, the junior. 5 goals, 3 assists. He scored in the sectional final, sends it in, and headed on towards Lopez.
Yeah, Robledo could not get his head turned and head squared to meet that ball. The ball was a little bit behind him. Wooten with a good cross, but still behind him, unable to get any power on it to trouble Christian Gomez. And you know, that was better. That was better from the Chargers, working it out wide and trying to get something into the box.
Christian Lopez had a very busy first 5-8 minutes of this match, but since then has not really been challenged. The balls that have rolled through to him have been ones either rolling on the ground that he could pick up or just high arcing balls right to him. See if the Chargers can put a little bit more pressure now on the Pioneers junior goalkeeper. Magiani's from distance, and that's been blocked. That's been another key, Matt, of this Pioneers defense. Those back four and even the defensive midfielders, they're not afraid to stick out a body part and knock down those shots from distance. There have been a lot of deflections before the ball even gets into the box.
Absolutely. Magiani's with the nice strike there, but Villalobos is going to take the throw, but it looked like it was Camden Brown getting that body in front of it.
Long throw coming into the box. That's knocked down and sent out. It'll be a corner.
Now St. Joe's trying to find the rhythm on offense, but good job by the Pioneers collapsing right away. It's always dangerous around the 6. All the feet in there trying to get a whack at the ball. That'll be a left-in swinger.
Robledo will take the corner kick. He sends it in short. It's headed out and back outside the 18 now.
From the Chargers, I'm sending that ball back in right away, taking a lot of time, being individualistic. Got to swing that ball around.
Taken away.
Also gave the Pioneers a chance to reset.
Distant shot, again blocked. That's Jet Jenkins. Just put the left foot out and knocked it down.
You can't critique the Pioneers for doing much wrong these first 50 minutes. They're doing everything right, getting in the way of the lanes. Another long throw in for the Chargers.
The key really was they survived that first 5 to 6 minutes when the Chargers had the better of the pace. Sent forward by U-High, and now they're able to clear out to midfield. It looked like it might have been a handball, and it was. Whistle behind the play.
They tried to put the hands in real quickly as the quick restart is called back by the official. So St. Joe's look to get something off of this. Seen a lot over the years from this distance. You cross it in, you get someone in just inside the 18 for a head. So let's see if the Chargers can do that. Very favorable, especially from the right.
Very little to no wind here at all tonight. This one sent into the box. Lopez right at it. So didn't get any bodies in front of him to challenge the vision of Christian Lopez there, and he was able to easily make the catch.
Yeah, that free kick just had a little too much arc on it, and Lopez was the only one with any ability to make a play on it. Opportunity there gone by the wayside for the Chargers.
Last chance for the Pioneers came in the first half, but the Chargers have not been able to break through yet. Put the ball into the back of the net. Wooten knocked away. Last touch by the Pioneers. That'll be a throw in for St. Joe. Villalobos takes these long throws from his defensive position. The senior comes up to make the throw.
Ryan Poland doing an excellent job again, just keeping them pinned along the left wing.
Long throw into the box. It's headed out and now cleared towards midfield.
Good play there by Kelly. And now Jenkins with the long clearance as well.
Gets it out of there all the way back now as it's knocked across midfield and sent all the way towards the box by the Pioneers. And Carlos Gomez beaten 3 times in that first half. Though I don't know that there was much he could have done on any of those goals. He came out on the third one and Clay beat him to the ball and got a touch, but the other two, were just fantastic goals where there was not much at all he could do.
Oh, there's a nice run here. Good ball through ball.
Sending for Clay. He's looking for a hat trick. It's knocked away from him. We saw a hat trick in the third place game today that was scored by Jabot Catholic's Ben Meath, their senior forward, finishing his high school career with a hat trick and tying the 1A single game state record for goals. As the long throw here is going to be knocked out. In a title match, it's never been done in 1A. 3 times a player has scored 2, so now 4 times as Clay has netted twice. But there's never been a hat trick since they in 1A. Here's a good shot. That's wide to the right. Shot from distance.
Real good shot from distance, and why not when you're up 3 and you know you got some space in the middle. Good rip, just high and right. But for Clay, that brings his total up to 30 goals for the year. So he's got 30, and 31 would be extra special and a state record.
He ties Alex Vernella, Quincy Notre Dame 2011, Stephen Puterball, Alton Marquette 2012, and John Harrell, Columbia 2014 is the 3 in a title match who have scored a pair of goals.
An excellent job there by Mason Whitman, taking it to the corner, taking that time off the clock. It might not be, you know, the most appealing form of soccer at this point, but a 3-goal lead, you're looking for any way to kill the clock, especially when you have the ball down there. Heady play.
With it now, sending it forward was Lopez. Hugo Lopez gets it to Emmanuel Lopez. Magiani's looking out wide for Wooten, and he does keep it in bounds, but then knocked back out by the Pioneers. I wasn't sure if he'd be able to keep that in, but he got the foot on it.
Good job by Jason Lenz over there helping out, as we'll have another long throw in. Villalobos has had a lot of throw-ins, but just unable to find a charger with the throws. The Pioneers have done a good job closing.
Long throw here, gets over Wooten's head, knocked back. Lopez wanted to pull the trigger, did not.
He sure did.
Magiani's knocked away by Red and cleared before St. Joe's recovers and punches it back in. And that one off the hands of Lopez and out for a corner. That one was sent in from about 45 yards out.
That sure was, and you know, if that was on target, that would have given Lopez a little bit of trouble, but he just made sure hands. We're going to take our chances with the corner, as we will have. Lopez is going to take the corner, Emmanuel Lopez from the right.
Sends it in. Christian Lopez got a hand on it to punch it out. Sent back to Emmanuel Lopez. He'll look for a second service, back heel, then passes it in, and there's only black shirts there. Jenkins clears it. And we'll get help from Brown, and that's a foul against the Pioneers, called against Brown as they got tangled up.
Camden Brown, the freshman, having a solid game as well. Now St. Joe's can be dangerous from this position. This is about 35 yards away.
Villalobos will hit it strong and way wide right and high. That was well out of bounds.
If you're going to drive it, you have to keep it, start it just above the crossbar so you have the dip down, and you know, the follow through, he just, you know, skied it over.
Yeah, that ball never came back down. Sent towards midfield and controlled now by the Pioneers. They'd love to get some possession and work some clock, but they've not been allowed to do that at all. The Chargers have had the better part of the possession here in the second half, just haven't broken through Christian Lopez's net yet. Wooten going towards the corner flag, his cross deflected, and that'll be another corner.
Oh, you talk about you know, not being able to drive that free kick. You know, a couple of the U-High players, Ryan Poland and Nate Clay, actually both kick for the football team.
Right.
So they know a little bit about the trajectory of that, but you know, that only works on the gridiron. You got to keep it low when you're on the pitch.
Lopez with service. That one's
what a save.
Over, and Lopez got a hand to it, and it'll be another corner. Christian Lopez with the save of the match
and
so far.
He's getting high fives, and they know how big of a save that was. What a save from Lopez. Woo. As you can see right there, Matt Moselle giving him a little pat on the back saying, oh, you saved us there. First time in a while Lopez has been called into a save like that. Actually, his first save like that all game.
Another effort. This one bounces right to him. Much easier for Lopez to handle that second one, but he's got the save of the match so far on that first corner kick.
That was the first header that the Chargers were able to get connected directly, and what a job from Christian Lopez. Just the tip over the bar, which is all that you need in that situation. Didn't try and catch it. Didn't try to do too much. Safe play, knocked it over.
Knocked away from Red and out of bounds, a throw in, and I believe this will be our first substitution of the second half.
Yes, absolutely. It'll be a double substitution. One of them is going to be Lucas Harry back in.
Number 16, Camden Brown, who you just talked about, going to the bench. This goes to the corner and is knocked away. I think Brian Cordero was the second player in.
Junior midfielder. And now another substitution coming on. So you're seeing Jeremy Stanton bring up a little bit of looks, keep guys coming in.
That's 7, Josh Friesen, the junior. Friesen, Cordero getting their first looks. They both played quite a few minutes in the semifinal, especially after Clay got injured for the final 26 minutes. Cordero came in and took his spot. He also subbed in for J.D. Kelly after Kelly got a yellow card in yesterday's semifinal match as well. In high school soccer, and you get a yellow card, you have to go straight to the bench. You can sub back in at the next available whistle, but you got to go out.
Oh, the luxury of having a 3-goal lead, right? You could just kind of mix and match, give your guys a breather here and there, get them some rest maybe that you didn't think they might be able to get at this point. So Coach Stanton using it well.
A lot of work in the corner, and U-High with the double team out there wins the throw-in.
Tell you what, just doing everything fundamentally sound out there are the Pioneers.
About midfield as it's knocked away now by the Chargers, back forward, and the Pioneers switch fields. Plenty of space on the right side for Harry. Gets it to Clay and knocked away from him by Villalobos, who then clears it all the way back into the attacking end for the Chargers.
But there's just no one there to support Emmanuel Lopez.
Friesen wins it back, and then it's out of bounds off of the Chargers and will be a throw-in for the Pioneers.
Well, it's one thing to push up with urgency, but it's one thing to push up and send the ball along when you have one of your players against 4 defenders. So there needs to be more support there for the Chargers, and everyone needs to match that urgency.
Throw-in was knocked down by Harry, and then St. Joe's gets it across midfield halfway through this second half, and precious time running out on the St. Joe Chargers as they are down by 3 to the Pioneers of Normal U-High down the left wing. They go here, sending across for Friesen, and that's a one hop to Gomez.
Perfect job there, just a little bit too long, not able to hit Friesen. But again, still a solid play from the Pioneers.
50-50 ball controlled by the Chargers. Lopez has been great with those 50-50 balls. Now it's Hugo Lopez. Knocks it backwards. Magianis gets around 1, then loses possession and clears it back near midfield. Friesen loses the handle and throws it right back in. Ahead for J.D. Kelly, now Friesen, and it's punched clear. Wooten got a foot on it to Hugo Lopez. Up now Emmanuel Lopez, losing it. Len sent it forward. Magianis trying the right side now. Dylan Robledo. Knocked away. Chargers have plenty of room to work here. Lopez couldn't get the trap. Races on, and Wooten will have it touched across the sideline. You're watching the 1A Boys State Final on Comcast Chicago.
Country Financial wants to know, what do you look for in a financial services partner?
Get to know us and get to know what we need and what we want to do.
Treat me like they would treat their family.
Help us decide what is a want and what is a need.
I want something tailor-made for me.
At Country Financial, our goal is to take the time to get to know you and then help you put together a customized package of insurance and financial solutions to help you own your future.
When someone really listens and they're planning for us, I trust them.
Visit ownyourfuture.com to find a local Country Financial representative today.
Welcome back to Eastside Center, East Peoria. Nathan Believer and Matt Mishak with you as the U-High Pioneers from Normal lead the St. Joe Chargers from Westchester 3-0 in the final 18 minutes of the 1A Boys Soccer State Championship. First of 3 state title games in boys soccer here on Comcast Chicago over the next week and a half. As here's a handball called 2A and 3A. It'll be next weekend up in Hoffman Estates. And Matt, in all 3 classes, we're going to have new champions. The 1A champion from last year, Timothy Christian, got bumped up to 2A. Waterloo, last year's 2A champion, lost in the sectional finals to Jacksonville on penalty kicks. As Villalobos puts this in, Christian Lopez will make the catch. And Libertyville loses in the sectional final to Barrington 1-0. So no repeats this year in boys soccer.
Yeah, that 2A and 3A next week will be cracking, as well as, you know, like you said, new teams in there, but a lot of action in these sectional finals. You know, at that level, it's going to be a different looking field there in Hoffman Estates, but it should be a lot of fun. And of course, one of the teams that was in the 2A final last year, Peoria Notre Dame, is in 3A. They're still going as well.
They're in the Final 8, a great year for Coach Matt Bear's squad. They bumping them up to 3A didn't seem to bother them as they win the sectional over Collinsville on penalty kicks and will play in the supers. Springfield High's had a fantastic year as well. They'll play Jacksonville in a super. Here's a shot, too high over the bar.
Good hit as well, and U-High just continues to stay in control as we'll have a substitution coming in. Oscar Rodriguez checked in earlier for the Chargers.
That's right.
Now a U-High substitution right now. As I think that was Caden Red that had a shot over the bar. And coming in now, actually Nate Clay is coming back into the game. So he had a nice rest there, a nice spell. He's going to try and keep that ankle loose for the final 16 minutes.
Chicago Washington, a team that was in the 2A Final Four last year, they're still alive as well. And so is Mount Carmel. So while Waterloo's out, the other 3 who made it to Hoffman last year could get back, although, as you mentioned, Notre Dame would be in 3A. Here is a pass deflected away.
That's just the summary of the night right there. There was a pass in there for a shot opportunity, but just escaped the Chargers there. So just a credit to the Pioneers for really frustrating things. Going back to Chicago Washington real quick, had a chance to see them during the year. They played Crystal Lake South in the Pepsi Challenge, and you know, very athletic team. That game didn't go so well for them, but they found their footing in the public league in the playoffs there, but also you know, getting down to it here, have an opportunity again to try and make it back down to state. So you know, really a solid program there at Washington.
I believe the only team left in 3A who made it last year is Morton out of Chicago, as they had Bartlett, Libertyville, and Quincy all lost. Quincy was still alive into the sectional final earlier today before falling, and see some new blood in Hoffman Estates, at least in 3A.
Yep, you talk about 3A. I mean, Morton is still the team. You know, around Chicagoland, it's always about Morton, and you know, they had the firepower last year, but Libertyville was able to stave them off. But you know what? I mean, with the attack they have, and just that so much they just keep coming at you, is just one of those things in 3A that a lot of people expect to see Morton at Hoffman Estates again this year.
Libertyville got them last year, won that state title, but eliminated in the sectional final this year in 3A. 14 minutes and change to go here in St. Joe's with the free kick in a very dangerous position. They need to find a way to get one past Christian Lopez, down 3 with 14 to go. Ball put in, hit back heel, and just wide. Deflected, that'll go for a corner. I think that was Magallanes who got the back heel on it. Might have been Rodriguez. They were both there.
It was Rodriguez. Yeah, Rodriguez got the back heel. Beautiful. He had the yellow shoes going on as well. Nice back heel. And just a little bit wide, but it took that deflection like you mentioned. So quick restart.
Here's the corner. Lopez couldn't get to that. reaching to punch at it. They'll keep it in. And now it's sent out. You mentioned those yellow shoes of Rodriguez. I don't think those are his marathon shoes, though.
No, I don't think so either.
Back out near midfield, and here come the Pioneers with a 3-0 lead. Breaking it down was Friesen, goes on the left. Punched in and saved. Pushed to the right by Gomez. Then a shoulder. That might have been in the box.
We'll see.
Let's see. He was right on the edge of the 18. Villalobos with the foul. They're going to stop the clock here.
Looks like this is going to be a card.
That was Nathan Clay. Al Corey is the center official. He's over. He's talking to his linesman here, Villalobos.
Probably trying to get positioning. Was that inside the box?
I think it was in the box. They're all walking over.
He's pointing to the spot.
It's a spot.
He's pointing to the spot. Yep, absolutely. This is going to be a penalty.
It'll be Caden Red to take it. Thought it might be Clay. He earned the penalty. I would have a shot at a hat trick. Clay scored the game winner in the semis. Already a 3-0 lead for U-High. Surprised there wasn't a card there, too, with that shoulder in the box.
I thought there would be there, Nate.
13:06 to play, and U-High could put the nail in the coffin right here. Caden Red. Off the crossbar. Comes back down. Red tips it on. Clay gets a touch and Gomez grabs it. So the crossbar, at least for the moment, keeps St. Joe's hopes alive.
Absolutely, as Red hit it well, just a little too high. He had Christian Lopez going the wrong way. Or actually, yeah, Gomez going the wrong way. And, just hit the iron.
Carlos Gomez then caught it off of the second opportunity as Clay got a touch.
We'll have a substitution for U-High coming in when time allows, but that's the kick start. You've got 12 minutes left. If you're St. Joe's, you need to get the ball and you need to get upfield really quickly.
Sent into the box on the free kick, knocked down, back in. Clay's shot, he kind of scuffed that one, had a defender diving at him too, and Gomez picks it up and will knock it all the way back across midfield, looking for Lopez and Robledo. It's Rodriguez on the left side. They'll try that side now. Lopez. Rodriguez on the wing, back in the middle. Magiani's taken away. Nice tackle.
Beautiful sliding tackle there. Looked like it was Camden Brown making a nice play. Good slide from the freshman. Talk about a bright future for him.
Flag is up, and that's going to go against the Pioneers. Well, they've got a lot of youth. They're goal scorers today. Clay and Kelly, both sophomores. So is Caden Red, who just had the penalty off the crossbar, but he scored the goal in the state semifinal to get them here.
It needs to happen right now for St. Joe's.
All the way into the box. Lopez comes out. Ball hits the ground and then is cleared easily by the Pioneers. Sending it out to the left. For U-High, trying to ship it all the way through, but nobody was there. There's no way Friesen was going to get to that ball. And a punt handled by the Pioneers. Right side. Bodies hitting the deck now as they're diving for everything they can.
And substitution coming on now for U-High. But to talk about the family ties that U-High had, we did early on as we see J.D. Kelly coming back in and Friesen coming out. Good work from Friesen, but St. Joe's, Chris Perez, who's a sophomore, has two older brothers that attended St. Joseph. Danny Magalanis, his brother Victor went to the state tournament before, and then Danny was around 2 years ago when they were here. And Johnny Milas, son of John Milas, who was a graduate soccer player at St. Joe's, so a very lineage and the history playing out for the Chargers here. But unfortunately, time is running out for them to try and take home that first place trophy. U-High has just been in control all game.
Yeah, they need to find 3 goals in 10 minutes. St. Joe's had the better of the possession the first 15 minutes of the match, and again the first 15 minutes of this second half, but never were able to find a goal, or at least haven't so far. Obviously still have time left, but they'll need 3. And this one sent all the way forward, and Nathan Clay, who's been moving nicely on that left ankle. He injured in yesterday's semifinal game, has not shown any ill effects. 2 goals and an assist, and he's run all over the place. He's got the ball here. He also earned the penalty kick that was missed off the crossbar. Jenkins forward for Kelly, but too far.
It just shows you the character of Nate Clay now with 30 goals on the year. But there's been times this game where he's helped out on defense as well. So really wanting it and showing all the effort he can for the Pioneers.
They got it here and look to send it back. Cleared all the way out. Let's see if Clay can win the race here. No, this ball is going to go all the way into the box and be picked up there by Gomez.
And the beautiful part of it for Coach Stanton is he's only a sophomore. So at least 2 more years of Clay up front. That ball will go out. It will be St. Joe's throw.
The thing now is they're just trying to find a way to break down this defense. They've gotten the ball into the box plenty. You haven't been able to score.
You can just see just the frustration as Rodriguez wanted to keep that in play, keep it alive as a double substitution in for the Pioneers. Camden Brown and Mason Whitman back in. Lucas Harry taking a seat, getting a nice ovation.
Yeah, Brian Cordero went out as well. 8 minutes to go. St. Joe is trying to push forward here. They scored within 2 minutes of each other twice in the semifinal. Rodriguez with a bender, that's in! Oscar Rodriguez bending that one in at the far post, off the post and in, and St. Joe's has got their goal.
Oscar Rodriguez, about 30 seconds ago, was very unhappy about how things were going, but the ball finally found him along that left side. He went to his right foot and did a nice bend, like you said, Nate, going far post, kissed off that far post, past Christian Lopez and back in. So 7.5 minutes. Now you're seeing the Charger faithful come to life. See if that translates to the players on the field.
The senior marathoner with his 3rd goal of the year, those bright yellow shoes. He almost scored on a back heel on a corner kick about 10 minutes ago. No almost about this one. Perfectly placed off that far corner on the bender and in. And here is a whistle and a foul against U-High. I was saying in the semifinal, when both times they scored in the half, they scored again immediately. They scored within 2 minutes of each other in the first half and 2 minutes and 30 seconds in the second. They're going to have to do that here. We've got a whistle and the clock is stopped here. Is the official Al Corey walking back because they took that kick from the wrong spot. He still wants St. Joe's to scoop back, and now we'll let them play it from there. And they tried to get an extra 10 yards or so out of it, and Mr. Corey was having no part of that this late in the state title match. Here's Jet Jenkins. St. Joe still needs 2. They broke through, but dug that big hole in the first half that they're trying to come back from now. At this point, you see U-High pull everybody back except for 1. 10 of their players are in their defensive half. They don't need another goal. They just need to play defense for 6:40.
A lot of the U-High players going to the deck. You just got to keep your feet here and stay in front of the ball. Good clearance there.
That'll run some clock as it goes all the way into the box. Cleared forward, headed back.
Coach Stanton in his 10th year as head coach of U-High, a graduate of U-High in '97. Played both soccer and basketball for the school. He was on the '96 team that went to the state tournament when it was a one-class system. So, you know, he has a lot of roots in the program, and he's 6 minutes from seeing his team do something they haven't done before.
They've got it on the right side here. push it through.
Also mentioned Clay and Poland were kicking for the football team, but Matt Moselle is also one of the standout baseball players as well for the Pioneers, so very well-rounded athletes on that side for the Pioneers. And they'll earn this throw in as well. So the time continues to tick down.
They just keep working, getting these big possessions.
Christian Lopez had his lineage. His brother Robbie Lopez was a starter on last year's team, as Michael Napolitano, who's been playing at forward mostly. His brother Matt was an all-state player last year. So, I mean, this Pioneer team learned from their past and have really put together an A-plus effort here tonight. There's no other way to describe it.
Napolitano came in at goal yesterday when they had that 4-0 lead, able to get some more players into the match and get them some opportunities. For U-High, they had a third-place trophy in 1998. The girls' soccer team had a second-place trophy in 2002. But soccer-wise, looking for their first-place trophy is a school and a program. They've done it in many other sports, but not in boys soccer, not in any soccer. This one's cleared out. They're 4 minutes away from doing that.
That was a good run. Rodriguez has really made the difference here as he tried to set up Barracu in the middle. Unable, and now Villalobos. Villalobos has put a little weight on his ankles here, but he's going to work to take the throw in.
He has
grabbing it.
Been all over the place tonight. He takes the throw ins, he takes these long kicks. Here's another long throw in, knocked back to the top of the box and sent all the way back out. And this one is
just out.
Just out.
Now the St. Joe's rushing. Coach Nemec, you can probably hear him saying, we're going forward, let's go. No time to waste.
Back at midfield. Gotta go forward. St. Joe's got their first goal. Need 2 more with 3 minutes to play.
Good job by the Pioneers. Really have to give credit to this back four. Ryan Poland, Matt Meyer, Matt Mosel, Jason Lenz. Outstanding work today.
They've done a fantastic job in this one.
Gotta get, so you can tell all the 11 out there for U-High, just really a effort in unison. Nowhere you could be, if you're going to be critical, it's just going to be nitpicky stuff, you know, giving up the 1 goal. But you know what? They really have frustrated the Chargers tonight. Have not gotten them to do anything outside of the Rodriguez strike, which was from at least from 20 yards.
That was a brilliant goal. Just too little, too late in the overall scope of things for the Chargers here this evening, as they trail 3-1 and have 2 minutes to work with. Red plays it over, knocked away by the Pioneers now as they move forward here. Clay can burn some clock with possession. It's knocked out of bounds. 1:40 to play. Throw in coming. They get it in. Down into the corner for Clay. He's just going to go for possession, waste some time off that clock, wins another throw in. The Pioneers will be in no hurry to throw the ball in here. Just drop it in. That's an illegal throw in. He did not complete the correct throwing motion, and the Chargers will get it in play with 1 minute to play. Sent forward for St. Joe's. Maggiani's on the ball over on the right side. Poked out of bounds. They've got it again. U High grabs possession near midfield with 30 seconds to play. This one trickles way out of bounds. U High bench can sense it. They are ready to rush the field. Their student section singing and chanting along as they've been doing all night, now with 10 seconds to go.
8, 7.
Sent skyward. The normal U High boys soccer team will get the second state championship in the month of October for their school, joining the golf champions from earlier this month. It's the 24th first place state championship for U High. It's their first in soccer, and you can see the celebration there from the Pioneers. Over in front of their student section, a 3-1 win. Nathan Clay with a pair of goals and an assist. Golf won their 10th on boys state title earlier in October, and now the soccer team can call themselves state champions as well. 3 first half goals and the 3-1 win over St. Joe's. Pioneers put it all together tonight, and they get the victory to claim the state championship. 3-1 over St. Joe's, 17-6-5 for U High. We'll be back with our post-game interviews and final thoughts from Eastside Center. U High wins the 1A boys state championship 3-1 on Comcast Chicago.
From the gridiron to the hardwood, on the links or on the track, on the diamond or on the ice. Go to prepfilms.com. It's easy. You can order your DVD online. At prepfilms.com, you make the memories. We'll make them last forever.
Today's championship matchup is brought to you by Country Financial. At Country Financial, we understand that helping you means knowing you. Take charge of owning your future with Country Financial. Call your local rep at 1-866-COUNTRY or visit ownyourfuture.com. We're back at Eastside Center in East Peoria, where Normal U High beats St. Joe 3-1 to win the 1A state championship. Let's go down on the field as they hand out this year's hardware.
Congratulations, guys, on a great season. Second place with a final record. Will Coach Stanton and captains from University High School please step forward to receive the first place trophy of the boys 2016 IHSA 1A state championship. Congratulations on a great season. Assistant coach David Morgan. Assistant coach Kyle Bigelow. Assistant coach Matt Senegor. Number 0, Jacob Garza. Number 1, Carlos Gomez. Number 2, Juan Villalobos. Number 3, Sebastian Chino. Number 5, Danny Magallanes. Number 6, Diego Rios. Number 7, Jose Salazar. Number 8, Sebastian Gomez. Number 9, Dylan Robledo. Number 10, Emmanuel Lopez. Number 11, Francisco Ponce. Number 12, Elijah Wooden. Number 14, Oscar Rodriguez. Number 15, Ron Baracu. Number 16, Jesus Vargas. Number 17, Johnny Millis. Number 18, Julian Carmona. Number 19, Abraham Rivera. Number 20, Jonathan Rodriguez. Number 21, Xavier Figueroa. Number 22, Joe Stiso. Number 23, Hugo Lopez. Number 24, Quincy Swell. Number 26, Nick Duell. Number 27, Christopher Perez. And number 29, Lucas Hansen. At this time, please meet the Pioneers of University High, who finished the 2016 in first place with a final record of 17 wins, 6 losses, and 5 ties. First meet the superintendent, Dr. Jeff Hill. Principal, Andrea Market. Athletic Director, Wendy Smith. Trainer, Emily Martz. Student Athlete Trainer, Mallory Becker. Head Coach, Jeremy Staton. Assistant Coach, Dan Gibler. Assistant Coach, Kevin Schenk. Scorekeeper, Andy Whitman. 0, Christian Lopez. Number 1, Michael Napolitano. Number 2, Nathan Mathis. Number 3, Lucas Harry. Number 4, Matt Moselle. Number 5, Christian Emble. Number 6, Nick Leathers. Number 7, Josh Friesen. Number 8, Nathan Clay. Number 9, Brian Cordero. Number 10, J.D. Kelly. Number 11, Nicholas Claus. Number 12, Matthew Meyer. Number 13, Michael Limplou. Number 14, Jet Jenkins. Number 15, Nick Raleigh. Number 16, Kendon Brown. Number 17, Mason Whitman. Number 18, Ryan Poland. Number 19, Noah Klaus. Number 20, Jason Lenz. Number 21, Matt So. Number 22, Christopher Capini. Number 23, Kate Red. And number 26, Michael Smith. Will Coach Nemec and captains from St. Joseph High School please step forward to receive the second place trophy. Congratulations, guys, on a great season. Will Coach Stanton and captains from University High School please step forward to receive the first place trophy of the boys 2016 IHSA 1A State Championship. Congratulations on a great season.
The 1A state championship game. Normal U-High gets the 3-1 win over St. Joe's. Let's throw it down on the field to Matt Mishek. He has the U-High head coach, Jeremy Stanton, and our country financial player of the game, Nathan Clay.
Just describe how it feels right now.
Feels great. I'm really excited for these guys. You know, they locked down defensively in the playoffs, and we told them to win championships, you got to be good defensively. And we did that for 7 straight games. So I'm really proud of them.
You talk about last year and, 24-1-1, just so close. You felt you had the mindset to do it then. But this team took something special from that team and brought it to this year. And it seems like just exceeded all the expectations out there.
Definitely. I mean, we owe this a lot to the seniors from last year, too. We had an unbelievable team last year that was nationally ranked that got knocked off. And if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here today. I mean, these guys practiced against them every single day, saw their leadership, and just continued to grow as players.
Coach Stang, congratulations, and enjoy the moment. Thank you. All right, now it's time to present the Country Financial Player of the Game, and just describe the overall feeling for you and the team so far.
I first have to thank my Lord Jesus. I did not think I'd be playing in this game. By His grace, I was here, but it was just unbelievable. It was indescribable to get those goals in this game and to propel my team to a championship. I could not have done it without them, without my Lord. And without the outstanding job by our defense. It was just phenomenal. They just carried us through this postseason. They really just brought us through, and we're here.
So what the treatment that you had last night, it was something special because you missed the last 26 minutes of the semifinal game. Just describe what these last 24 hours have been like for you to come out and give the effort that you did.
My leg really was killing me. It was just a bad hit to my calf, and I didn't think I was originally going to be playing in it, but with the help of the trainers and just a lot of rehab before the game, I was able to be ready to go by game time, and thankfully was ready to go. So, but yeah, it was tough.
Normal U-High winning their first ever boys soccer state championship. It's their second state championship in the school already this fall. Joining boys golf, and they get a 3-1 win over St. Joe's here today. J.D. Kelly got the scoring going on an assist from Nathan Clay in 12:35, and then it was all Clay, the sophomore, gets 2 goals in the final 9:21 of the first half to build the 3-0 lead. They had a penalty kick that hit off the crossbar in the second half. St. Joe's did get a goal. They avoided the shutout late as Oscar Rodriguez bent one in off of the far post to prevent the shutout, but Normal U-High gets the 3-1 win this evening, and they'll take back their first ever state championship to U-High and get celebrated there on Monday with the state championship back in Normal. That'll do it tonight from Eastside Center here in East Peoria. For my partner, Matt Mishek, for our entire fantastic crew here at Play On Sports, I'm Nathan Weaver. Thanks for watching Boys 1A State Soccer on Comcast Chicago.